Alright, today we're going to change out the fuel tank for a Stihl 046 chainsaw. As you can see here, I've already completed the work. It's just kind of going to be a quick run through. That way you can tackle it pretty quickly yourself. As you can see here, here's the old one. You can see that actually goes up underneath the chainsaw, and there's quite a few different points we have to take off in order to be able to get this piece off of the saw itself. It's not really that involved, doesn't take that long. However, if you're not that mechanically inclined, I would recommend taking this to a dealer to perform the work. Alright, first off what we're going to do is we're going to take off the back cover. Pop this off of here real quick, nothing really too fancy about it. Set this off to the side, pull off the air filter assembly, and now we can get to the trigger assembly here within the handle. Just go ahead and do this first, it'll make your life a lot easier. Here we have a Torx T20, size may vary obviously, depending on if you're actually working on an 06 or a different model. Pop this off of here really quick. It's kind of easy to go ahead and hold on to the handle as well so it doesn't fly apart on you. Let's pop this out here real quick. Maggie will give us a hand here. Come on, buddy. There we go. Alright, now that's out of it. Put the saw back up. It pops out pretty simply and easily. Lifts right on out. Here's your trigger assembly. You do have to take this off in order to perform the work, obviously. It's really easy to slide the linkage for your throttle off. This piece pops right out. Just remember the orientation of where it goes. Then you actually have to punch this pin out. You punch this pin out, and that will actually allow the trigger assembly and everything to come right on out. And you'll take it out and put it into the other unit. Now, that punch that I use, for instance, was just like this, fit right in there. Punch it right on out. Next we're going to take off this little cover right here. There's a little clip underneath, so all you have to do is stick your finger in there, pop the clip up, comes right out just like that. Next we have 8mm bolts here that's holding the carburetor assembly in place. Let's pop these out real quick. I'm trying not to make this to where it's a super long video here because everybody's time is valuable. And the reason why I'm taking this piece off for you is so you can kind of see what's going on behind here, the grommets and whatnot that need to be replaced, where wires come through, fuel lines, so on and so forth. This piece right here just pops straight off as well. This piece right here just slides right off. You have to play with your trigger assembly a little bit, your kill switch and all that a little bit. Pops straight off of there. And this piece right here, you can just slide it right on back and off. And then your throttle linkage comes right off just like that. Alrighty, next we'll have to get this grommet out of here, out of the way for your high-low speed adjustment and also your idle adjustment. I'm just going to slide it out of the way just for now. You have to fully pull this out, obviously, if you're going to replace the fuel tank. Next we pull the carburetor out. It comes straight on out. There's a fuel line right over here. It can be a little bit of a pain to try and pull off. Just want to make sure you don't damage it when you're putting it in. There's the carburetor. Pretty straightforward. Alrighty, next. What you're going to do next is you're going to go for the bolts that are around on each side. There's a bolt right here that holds it in. There's a bolt down here that holds it in as well, behind this cover. On the other side, there's a bolt right behind here. You have to take off your chain guard. You can get to that bolt, and also there's a bolt right here. This is a quick example. I'm going to pull this cap out real quick so you can see what's behind it. I'm using this standard old hook pick. I'm sure there's a better tool for this, but it worked just fine for me. All I did was went behind it and pried it up a little bit on each side. It comes right on out. It's nothing but a little plastic plug. You can see it pops right on out of there. Just a plug. Makes you think there's more happening there, but as you can see, there's another bolt right down inside of there. So you'll take out all four of those. You have to take off the handle, obviously, as well. There's two bolts down here on the bottom of the handle. And then there's also two bolts over here you have to take out. Becomes a little bit tricky pulling that apart. It's not too big of a deal. Not too big of a deal on that portion of it either. Alrighty, so back to the bottom here like we were discussing. You have the bolt here and the bolt here. You have little rubber grommets that are in here. Let me try to flip it over, you can see a little bit better. Little rubber bushings, little grommets you have to take off and swap over to the new gas tank. And that's it on that particular aspect of it. Now, looking inside of here, into where the carburetor was just removed, you'll have certain things that will need to be taken off. For instance, this has to come off like I told you before. These have to come off. Just unplug them. There's a simple spade connector. There's a plug down inside of here. Get a screwdriver to point with. There's a plug right through there. Just pop that right on through. And then you'll be able to play with your wires, be able to move the grommet around and whatnot, and you get the wires out of the actual assembly itself. Next, well, you don't have to do it in this particular order, in this particular aspect. You can do it whatever order you want now that you've gotten it torn down all the way and the gas tank's pretty much separated. Now there's a screw right here that holds on this particular assembly right here. So all you have to do is take that screw out, and this whole unit just pops straight out. Alright, now for the fun part. This part was a little bit tricky. I'm going to try and describe it to you the best way that I can. It's really difficult to see as well what's going on down inside of here. So basically, this right here is nothing but a quote-unquote vacuum tube that goes to the bottom of the crankcase, which actually operates your fuel pump on the carburetor. This hose is going to have to be swapped out, as it will not come with your new fuel tank assembly. That particular hose, all it does is slide on. There's nothing that really keeps it besides a nipple, a barb on the nipple. And it's right down inside of there. It's kind of hard to see. As you get the bolts pulled out, you'll be able to see it pretty good. Also, there's a rubber intake manifold that has to be pulled out and swapped out as well. It's pretty easy. Once you get it loosened up, it's pretty easy to get a small screwdriver down into that particular clamp that holds it on. It's a fairly common clamp that you see in many applications. Just has a flathead screw on it. Just unscrew that, and then after that you should be able to just pull this assembly directly apart. Now, as far as when you take this assembly apart, you'll see right here there's a metal ring right here. All you have to do is pop that metal ring out. We'll set it off to the side. And then, after you get it all apart, once again, you have the rubber will be on the back of this, and also your fuel hose will still be attached. All you have to do is just take this rubber grommet, push it down inside, and you can disconnect it and you can put it on your new fuel tank. Same with this. This hose actually pushes out inward toward the front of the gas tank, and then all you have to do is just pop it into your new assembly. What else do we have here? And that's really about it. Not really a whole lot going on there as far as how to do this. It really doesn't take that much time. One last aspect here, whenever you're putting it back on, the way I chose to do it was actually put that rubber grommet for the intake grommet. I put it back on there with it assembled to this. I actually attached everything back to the motor itself. It's pretty easy to do. I just took a long screwdriver and just gently pushed. Obviously, I wasn't trying to protrude, wasn't hitting the rubber with this. I was actually pushing more against it in this type of fashion here. And a long set of needle nose pliers is really good for also getting that vacuum hose hooked back up to the motor. It's really quick and easy. You have enough room to work with it without having the mount bolts installed. And of course, the assembly is reverse order of installation. And that's about it. There's really not a whole lot to these. You can do it pretty quick. I'd imagine after I've done it once so far, I could probably have it knocked out in a matter of 20 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. Have a good one.